My name is Lucas Shore, CEO and founder of Kestrel Insights. We are geospatial, geofencing experts focusing on kind of all things mapping, location based in the telematics space, being the tracking of vehicles for commercial services. So whether that's transportation companies running 18 wheelers and delivering freight, or field service guys, a plumbing outfitter running F-150s out in a town going to job sites. Our focus is really on how people can improve how they leverage location data in their day-to-day operations. We're a data company, bringing our data to the SaaS solutions where people live and operate for our industry. Before partnering with Superhuman, we were really looking to just kind of throw some gas on the fire from an outbound perspective, and small team, and so it's easy to get distracted. You blink and a couple of days go by. So wanting to make sure that we had that consistency to our outbound efforts, because we were seeing customer growth. We were seeing the use cases, and so we were just, booked with demos, booked with onboardings. And so wanted to make sure we kept that outbound effort going. And so trying to find a solution there is what really drove us to Superhuman and what we're looking to solve. From a goal setting perspective, we were really looking to, end result, sign up more customers, but to kind of step it backwards, wanting to hone in how we were communicating our value props. Like, we knew we had a valuable product because customers were signing up. We were meeting with customers, great feedback. So how could we improve the efficiency of how we were landing that messaging with customers to then book more demos, to then sign up more customers? So like the early phase that, Superhuman was really going to be involved with was obviously the landing of the phone calls and the booking of the demos. So that's really what we were focused on. And then the intent of that obviously trickling down to signing up more customers, growing revenue, all that stuff. But to start certainly around connected phone calls and book demos. Superhuman really stood out from, I think the first things was simplicity of onboarding, simplicity of use to like get started, test it out, low risk, low commitment, that type of thing. I think there's always going to be hesitancy if I got to sign, a 12-month, 24-month type thing. So to be able to get in, see it on a month-to-month thing and just see how it fits in our systems was very low risk, very low stress. So I think the ease of onboarding and sign up was huge. Right now, SHP provides us with the outbound calling functionality. So reaching out to accounts, kind of talking about doing some discovery around potential pain points around our area of expertise, kind of showcasing a little bit about what we do, and then booking calls. We're not involved, obviously, sitting on every call. And so then there's the communication piece of updates, easy to see dashboard of like calls made, connections, the notes from calls that did connect and things like that. So heavy on like very on the top of funnel outbound side of things. And then we take over at the book demo part. Our work with Superhuman has really helped us solve some of these problems. Number one, it's allowed us to add that extra needed capacity to our outbound efforts, which was really like, number one thing. How can we grow, throw some gas on the fire and keep this thing moving? And then it also allowed us to test a few different strategies that we have, seen great results from, strategies from kind of a messaging perspective to get that feedback and make the tweaks effective. You do need some volume. If you're making all these changes on one call, two call, it's likely not reinforced with the correct data. So it's allowed us to do that at volume and make those decisions. So those have all been great problems to solve for us. From partnering with SHP, definitely some of the benefits and the results, very simply, more customers, new customers, which is huge. So again, as we step that back, it came from, we saw an uptick in book demos and we saw an uptick in connections just from a call outbound perspective. So all of that is kind of trickling down as we had hoped and expected. It's really as simple as that. The results just more customers, which has been great. And again, we've also been able to gather some more of that feedback from testing different messaging and positioning in the field and stuff like that. More customers is great, but knowing how you got there and why is huge. I would certainly recommend Superhuman, just simply results. Like I said, the last question, we're just getting more customers. And so that part's great. You can get results, but people can be terrible to work with. Luckily, that's not the case here. So the team is easy to work with. The feedback and how we are kept up to speed on everything that happens when we're not around is phenomenal. So the handoffs are easy, they're smooth, it feels very integrated. So yeah, all those pieces are great. But again, the end result is you got to be getting results, and then we're getting those. So it all comes back to that. But led up to that too, it's been a great experience as well. I don't think we really experienced any kind of unexpected curveballs or anything like that. Setting up Even like onboarding a team who doesn't know your product in and out like you do, I feel like that went very smooth. There were some like versions to like the script and the conversations that we went back and forth on, but fully to be expected. I feel like we were up and running very quick. You know, credit to the Superhuman team, credit to my team as well. Just Sid, who's on my team, just did a great job of making sure all the data was shared, everything was organized and clean. So it definitely felt like you're going to get it out of it, what you put into it. So from our side, making sure we get you guys everything we need, make ourselves available heavy in the start to set you guys up for success is, I think, what we owe and what we need to be responsible for because you guys came to the table ready to rock. So no, really unexpected hurdles or roadblocks or anything. If I had to pick a favorite feature from the Superhuman kind of whole package and platform, I think of that as a product guy. I think of a feature as a feature. And so for me, I kind of immediately go to like the dashboard and the reporting that we get out of it. So like anytime a call is booked, we immediately get an email of like the company, the person, notes on what happened and what transpired in the engagement. So if I had to pick a feature, I think that's great. I guess results. I'm not really thinking of results as like a feature per se, but obviously the results are great. But like just a part of the Superhuman suite, that type of like reporting, dashboard insights, all that stuff, so it can be a smooth handoff. For something that certainly has made our team happy or exceed our expectations from working with the Superhuman team, I think expectations are very clear, which is great. Like I think when you're onboarded, there's different tiers and different products, and the team is very clear of like, hey, this is what this one includes and what we're going to do and everything like that. So I think that's great because it just provides our team with the clarity of like what's needed and expected from our side, and then what we can expect from the Superhuman side. So I know I've said this a few times, but just happy it's just been the results. You know, it's just great to see connections happening, meetings getting booked, because sales is a funky part, and the sales process from top of funnel and prospecting all the way to closing can be very finicky. And if you've got one part of it off, it definitely impacts everything else. So to know that we were able to get up and running with the team like Superhuman in like a very intimate part of our business has been great. So all that's been very positive. If I was chatting with someone who is using you guys or thinking about using you guys, Superhuman, I would certainly just recommend high supported onboarding, making sure you get them everything they need. Constantly remind yourself that, hey, you've been head down in your company for 5, 10, whatever years. Just remember that this is a new team coming in. And so you got to constantly remind yourself that, you know, hey, walk them through everything, get them all the information they can to be successful, and then continue to do that. What's great is Superhuman, when set up for success, they'll take it and run. But just making sure you set them up for that success, I think, is the most critical piece. It's a partnership, two sides of the coin. So Superhuman's going to do their part. So just making sure you do your part will get a positive result for sure.